time for Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. And I will have you know, it is a lovely color depth of 32 bits. We're moving up in the world. Yes. Let me see it. Let me see it.
In the name of my health and yours, Holmes, stop smoking so much. There is more fog in our apartment than in the street.
You are right, Watson, but this evening is never ending, and I have nothing to do but make smoke rings. A more amusing pastime would suit better, but my doctor is against it.
Perhaps a little tune on the violin.
My heart is not in it tonight, Watson. Have you noticed how this cigarette burns? Would you not say it is like a life being consumed? How many lives will end tonight in London? How many crimes will be committed within the life of a single cigarette? Ah, the vanity of existence. It is but complaints and smoke, the meagre panache of its sickly soul.
The tobacco is giving you very somber thoughts. I am certain that this inactivity will not last. Let's retire. You'll be in better humour tomorrow.
Reason speaks. Let's to bed.
Holmes hotbox? Wait, Holmes was a pipe smoker. He was, but I guess he wanted a cigarette today. Murder. Does anybody want to be the sacrificial lamb? For one opal to see if it fixed itself. Or if it's still broken. Ah, no, wait! Okay, it's still broken. Hi, Vince. Oh God, how much of the conversations have you been listening to? Vince, since you're the smartest guy I know in regards to this, what should my video bitrate be? 6,000, right? I just woke up. Well, good morning!
Come this way, my lovely. We'll have a right good time.
Okay.
Wait, let me help you. Oh, it's my hair that pleases you.
Oh my God, whoa! Zip him back up! Just cake out and everything! Put your cake away! Oh my God! I'm waiting for that zip up!
The news is as dark as the sky, Holmes. An inquest has been opened into the murder of a poor woman in the East End. The unfortunate girl was discovered last night, lying in the street, still warm. The murderer was filled with an incredible savagery.
How do I check that?
Oh, the article gave me shivers down my spine. The inspectors in charge of the case don't seem to have even the slightest lead. A similar murder took place less than a month ago.
Ah, love. A romantic walk, a kiss in the moonlight, a polite refusal, a terrible anger, and a hanging.
This area of Whitechapel is a disgrace to London. The government should take serious note of what is going on there.
Whitechapel? This woman was found in Whitechapel?
Yes, indeed. Bucks Row, to be specific.
Then it was not a question of romance, but of commerce. Unless these women actually take pleasure in the vice, the female nature is completely...
Holmes, do you hear yourself? A woman is dead under unspeakable circumstances. No less than any other, she was a human and one of Her Majesty's subjects. None of these streetwalkers of which you speak have any other way to survive but by selling their bodies. You know as well as I that our era is not a gentle one, and these women don't have much to look forward to. Some grace, if you would. Do not refuse them your compassion.
Do not say another word, my dear Watson. We shall leave immediately for Whitechapel.
To the scene of the crime?
No, I think it would be better to arrive there a bit later once night has fallen. At the moment, the spot will be overrun by police officers and spectators. It would be impossible to investigate properly.
Then where are we going, Holmes?
The best thing to do would be to head to the police station and attempt to get a copy of the preliminary reports.
But the article in the Star seemed quite complete to me.
You must know, Watson, that journalists often draw conclusions from the facts without a proper understanding of how to do this delicate task. We must obtain the reports from the inspector in charge, as well as those from the coroner.
Very well, Holmes, but all the same.
It seems to me that I have a map of London somewhere, Watson. Can you find it and locate Whitechapel while I get ready?
You are too kind, Holmes. Searching through your mess?
I like that we're saying cake and thick cake in reference to the booty, when all the other previous cake talk was in reference to, something else. By the power of cakes combined! You control Dr. Watson and move in the game, just left click. I know, but you know what I like? I like first person. So much better.
Holmes's violin. He doesn't play nearly enough, if you ask me.
First person. Yay!
Well, well, Holmes has received some French champagne with a card, a gift from a young admirer, signed Raoul d'Andrecy. Who on earth could that be?
Ooh? Oh, best game set for this month.
Holmes's violin. Treaty on Cornish, the Celtic dialect of Cornwall, and here medieval pottery. How can Holmes possibly read such things?
I imagine we're gonna be respectful when it comes to the streetwalkers. But to Jack the Ripper! Rip him apart!
Holmes's experiment table.
So far, every game has just been spice.
A map of London, at last. Let's see. The district of Whitechapel.
Ooh! I like the little knife, bloody knife icon. Yeah!
I found the map, Holmes, and I was able to locate the Whitechapel police station.
Congratulations, Watson. Come, the game is afoot. You can read the article to me on the way.
Rip 'em and dip 'em.
We have arrived, Watson, in Whitechapel.
Not very bright, and what cold! Brr, a typical London morning.
Come, Watson, let's find this police station.
Oh, I believe it's right in front of us. Happy Pride! Mwah! Kiss your homies! Which, by the way, did I not hear that the Kiss Your Homies meme guys are actually getting married? Or was that the internet lying to me?
Well, this station isn't very well kept, I say.
It's a local outpost, Watson. The daily tasks that confront these constables are not the easiest, and they are poorly paid.
I can't even imagine trying to be a cop in 1888 London. I can't even imagine.
This police station is like a laundry. What a scandal.
What's... Shush. We got hats. We got sticks. Handcuffs and shoes. That's all you need. Second. Anything else I can...
These archives are impressive. I bet they have been carefully conserved, classified and indexed in order to follow the evolution of criminality in this area with extreme precision. Wouldn't you say, Holmes?
Given their condition, more likely for lighting the furnace, Watson.
Kiss a homie, hold a bro, cuddle a friend. Exactly right. Kiss a homie.
This must be the door that leads to the cells.
Alright, excuse me. What's up, man?
Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello, I would like to speak with the Chief Inspector, if you please.
Constable Humphreys here. I am the only one in at the moment. What do you want with the chief?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am...
Sherlock Holmes? The detective that I read about in the papers? Well, that's a treat, that is.
You come about the Buck Road case, have you?
Indeed, we...
Not at all. We were just passing by chance. You say that there was a crime recently.
You don't know? You must be the only folk in London who haven't heard.
It won't be long until you find the culprit, no doubt.
Nothing is less certain. Suspects 0. Clues 0. It's not good for us, especially not in this district.
Ooh, I like the little bricks and everything. I'm now wondering what I could combine with the Welsh word for cuddling. Svit. Like those three. Paycheck 0. How do you say it? Svit? Swit? Because my brain is trying to say the unt word, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. But... Swintunt? That's the only thing that comes to mind. Which, I think, if it's used in that region, probably be quite acceptable.
Listen, this isn't what I came here for, but if I can be of service, in a confidential capacity, of course, if you can entrust me with a copy of the preliminary reports, I could study them and return later with my conclusions.
It's just that these are official documents. I can't take a decision like that without the inspectors.
The sooner we know the facts in the file, the sooner we can be of help, my friend.
Say, if you are Sherlock Holmes, you can find anything, isn't that true? With your magnifying glass, footprints.
My performance is often embellished by my biographer.
Ah, good. Good. I will give you the reports, but could you do me a small favour first? During my rounds, I dropped a leather folder containing some papers. Nothing of importance, but it's a big mistake. I would go looking for it myself, but I am stuck here on duty. I must have lost it near the seedy boarding house not far from here. Left when you leave the courtyard and left again in the lane. Perhaps you could go, ask around.
See which? More like cooch, but with a more W sound. Wooch? I was gonna say smooch a wooch, but I'm like, no, that's 2 actions. We need a person. Wooch a pooch? Cuddle a dog?
We shall see what we can do.
I am of no help, Larrington. I am a gutter goblin!
Are we going to go look for these documents?
Why not? It'll give us an occasion to take a tour of the district, Watson.
I just roll around here and all my innuendos. And cake. Alright, he said left, then left. Adam?
Well, without money, we can't do nothing.
Okay. Now gameplay looks squished. Old games are wonky. I guess the menus were only stretched. Yeah, like, this is okay. And so I was like, y'all sure? Yeah, no, he looks normal. Oh yeah, you're right. Coming at me, telling me, and I'm like, huh? Huh? It's pretty normal to me. But now I'm paranoid.
Good day, sir. You wouldn't happen to have seen a leather folder on the ground around here, would you?
Good day, gentlemen. Finley, caretaker of this building. Here to serve. And yes, less than an hour ago. But some of the local urchins picked it up and God only knows where it might be now.
That's unfortunate. This police bag contained documents that the local police will miss.
You're inspectors?
Not at all. I am Dr. Watson, and this is Sherlock Holmes, the detective.
Sherlock Holmes, the great detective. You must be here about last night's murder. Have you discovered the identity of the poor woman?
Indeed, I'd only to read the papers.
Mine is dated from this morning, and it does not say who it is.
I'm not really engaged in this case, but if I can help the police, I will do so willingly.
Oh, to be sure. I've been told that Inspector Aberline is in charge. A very capable man.
Alright, once we're done talking with this, I'm gonna switch it to 1920 by 1080. I'm gonna be like, just like, everyone close your eyes and open them, and we'll see how much of a difference there is. Or screenshot it if you can.
So, according to you, I have no chance of finding this folder then.
Indeed. But I, on the other hand, should be able to find it. Do me a favour in exchange. A vagrant comes almost every night to sleep in one of the nooks not far from my windows. He coughs, howls, sometimes even sings. He's quite hefty and I don't dare approach him. I've lost 3 tenants because of him. If it's you who speaks to the police, they will take this matter more seriously. Tell them about the captain. They'll know who you're talking about. In the meantime, I'll find your police bag.
Okay. Get a gander.
Let's go to the police station.
Look at this beautiful man. Oh, shut your eyes. Gotta save real quick, though, because I'm not doing this again. But shut your eyeballs. Also, I'm probably gonna take a picture just so I can see for myself, because I'm like, I don't notice too much of a difference. Alright, keep them eyeballs shut. I'll be right back. Open your eyeballs. How does he look now? He looks the same to me. Because I don't have the black bars. That's the only thing, like, I don't have the black bars. Like, what you guys saw is what I was seeing the whole time. That's why I was like, hey, looks great to me. So bad, Cass is like sleeping under my desk. Alright, off we go. Wow! Are you the captain?
Excuse me, my good man.
Now time to chat, I've got business, got it?
But the menus were all stretched. Who knows?
Pardon me, but can you give me some information?
If it's to file a complaint, you should go to the station.
Okay, bye. Alright, where is this large gentleman?
Come, my lord, a little coin. Oi!
What are you looking for? Chicks, opium, girl, sailor?
Ooh! All the options. It's like, I don't discriminate, whatever you want. I wish I could pet you.
You're in a rush, my pretty. Come, I'll have you done so quickly you'll only have time to pay.
Petting a horse? I'm being wholesome? Petting a horse? I know what you're talking about. Do you know anything, small child?
You ain't from round here. You shouldn't stay here. It ain't healthy.
I don't want to know. Where is this large gentleman? Is it you?
Excuse me, my good man.
We don't much like people with your looks round here. Understood?
Someone's having a good time. I mean, by the sounds of it, I would hope so. This area is quite huge. I'm not gonna lie, their outfits, oh Jesus, look nice. They look nice.
This building is a clinic.
Okay.
I have no reason to go that way.
Well, we got it on the map. Bro, how large is this place? Definitely increased. Oh!
A gathering, Holmes, and policemen. Let's go see, perhaps.
No, Watson, we have some business to take care of, and we are better off remaining discreet. Let's go to the police station.
Which video?
Bucks Row.
Okay. How to have your cake and eat it?
I have no reason to go that way.
Where am I? That's the clinic. That's the boarding house. That's the police station. It has to be here, the guy. Unless the guy lives over here. He said he was close by and he would just howl. Is he? You DM'd it. Why did that show up? Slowly to savor the ooey gooey goodness. That's one way to look at it. Yeah. Is it you?
Come, my lord. A little coin. Oi!
No, I'm good, bro. I have so many questions. Is it just a normal dude? Or, you know, is it somebody who's like, it's Pride, let's do this? Yeah, his arm just kind of freaked out for a second. Am I supposed to go in here?
Closed.
Oh, thank God. Excuse me, madam. Said he's by a nook. I feel like it's you.
Excuse me, my good man.
We don't much like people.
You're like the only big burly guy here. Unless he's like hiding. For the rest of chat, it's the latest Cody Co video. It's a reaction to another video entitled something similar to what we were talking about in the earlier game. The cake. So many questions. Is it you?
Excuse me, my good man.
Now time to chat. I've got business. Got it?
Where the fudge am I supposed to go? What am I doing? I am the lost. Notes don't contain any new items. They are only meant to expound upon the facts already stated. Where's the fancy little thing of the, like, question mark that, like, helped me out? Because I'm stuck. Unless I don't talk to the guy. I just go straight to the police and I'm like, where's Captain? That might be it. I'm gonna watch and report back. Oh God, tell me. Tell me what the context of that is, because I gotta know.
So, gentlemen, have you found my police bag?
Not quite yet. Do you know a vagrant who goes by the name of the Captain?
Captain? Yes, an old sailor, strong as a Turk and tattooed from head to toe. The drink has turned him into a derelict.
He appears to be causing some problems for the caretaker of the building at the end of the street.
What do you want us to do? Every night, stairwells, halls and porches become public dormitories, and people don't only come to sleep. I believe this man has a niece who puts him up sometimes. Her lodgings are in Commercial Street, right after the alley with the boarding house. You won't forget my folder, will you?
No.
Do you believe this woman will agree to have her uncle stay with her?
No idea. Oh well, let's go see her just the same.
Alright. The alleyway after the boarding house. Oh, he fancy? Who you?
Pardon me, but can you give me some information?
You too?
You're lost?
Do they mean this
There.
alley?
This is where the niece of the captain must live.
Where was I looking? Oh, there she is. Madam!
Good day, miss. Would you happen to be the niece of the man known as the captain?
Oh, yes, that would be me. What has he done this time? He isn't... Oh my god, I'm on my way.
Captain James Tennille from MXC. I don't think I know that. Instead, shown Spike TV even if they were very questionable at times.
Miss, we have come to ask if you could have your uncle come live with you. He sleeps under the windows of a boarding house, causes the caretaker no end of problems.
I know. I've lodged him for a while, and he was the same here. My landlord made me kick him out. I'm ashamed, you know. I never should have, given the state of his health. He coughs day and night.
Huh? I got a community award? Explain.
There might be a way to calm his cough. I am a doctor. I could examine him.
He went to see a doctor at the clinic, but the medicine costs too much. I can hardly pay my rent.
We will see to it. Where might your uncle be found?
I don't know. He must be in the vicinity, but I don't know exactly where.
Most extreme elimination challenge? Oh yeah, I never heard of it. But apparently we got a community award, warm blanket, on our The King of Cats video. Oh, nice!
We will find him.
Holmes, this is serious. Find an alcoholic in Whitechapel? A needle in a haystack would be easier.
Come, dear doctor, let's trust to our lucky star. Moreover, we also have our informers, remember?
Are you referring to those brats to whom you are always giving charity?
Exactly, my secret police. Some of them must surely roam in this area. It suffices to find them.
Next stop, Oscars. I mean, the person who made that game did find our YouTube, and they were like, oh my god, thank you. And I was just like, ooh, and I think we're at 250 or 260 something. So we're well on our way to 300 by 30. I will have all the credits.
Hello, young man. How are you?
I recognize him. It's the lad who sells newspapers, who is always calling outside our windows at Baker Street, early in the morning.
Hello, Mr. Holmes. It's a treat to see you again. What can I do?
Adele, but you don't have to sit through 31 minutes of... I'm assuming is he a straight man? Or is he part of the Alphabet Mafia? Because, I mean, you can be that confident and be like, yeah, I think this dude has this amount of cake. I don't know. Good luck. Good luck reporting. I expect the book report by the end of stream.
Would you happen to know an old sailor who goes by the name of the captain? A poor man who hits the bottle a bit hard.
Of course, Mr. Holmes. He's there at the end of the street. Round to the left he is. But be careful. He can be a tough customer, that one.
Very good, my young man. The doctor will give you a little something. Watson?
Huh? I say, Holmes?
Is he always such a skinflint with you, Mr. Holmes? Well, thanks to you, Mr. Holmes. Anytime you need me.
Okay, he just said down the street.
Batty Street.
So, like, this street?
I can hear someone coughing more than is natural, Holmes.
Yes, Watson. The poor man cannot be too far away.
Hey, bro.
If, in order to listen to us, this man imposes as condition that we find his pet cockroach, there will be another murder in Whitechapel today, Watson. Yours.
Ah. He is in a critical state, Holmes. He has barely a month left.
Is there a way, dear doctor, to ensure that this last month passes in silence?
Really, Holmes, sometimes you... Oh, really? I will make note of some medicine to get immediately that will relieve his pain.
Very well. I will locate an apothecary or a clinic.
Pet cockroach. I think Holmes is pretty much saying, like, if this guy wakes up and he's like, oh, can you help me find this? Holmes is gonna be like, it's gonna be you, Watson. Alright.
Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste.
The clinic! God is good. God is truth. God is holy. Where are all the people? This is ominous. Okay, you either have no patience because you're really good or really bad at your job. The original video is 7 men agreeing to get measured, and they have to try and order themselves correctly. It's a literal cake measuring contest. Way to boost and destroy some self-confidence. What if... I hope they're all the same. Like, how great would that be if they were just average cake? Like, all same. You just see them like, oh, I guess it doesn't matter, right? And then this guy is just a meanie pants and says, like, crazy sizes for them. And everybody's like, nope, we're all the same.
Good day, sir. Dr. Gibbons. You aren't from around these parts.
Indeed, Doctor. It is for someone from your neighborhood that I am here, though. His doctor asked that I acquire some medicine on his behalf. I have the note here.
Dr. Watson? Not from round here neither. This medication is quite dear. Certain documents are necessary to obtain them for free.
I have money. I'm not watching that right now.
I don't have it. You'll have to accept my spare change. Will it be enough?
Enough to relieve your patient for a month. Would you like me to make this prescription available after that time?
According to Dr. Watson, that won't be necessary.
The possibility of a recovery?
A definitive one, yes.
There, sir.
Thank you. It's rather quiet here.
An unusual chain of events. The majority of the people hereabouts went out last night to see the great fire at the warehouse. The patients that I was minding and my staff were no exception. The former were dramatically healed, and the latter ended up sick. And with the murder last night, most of the people who weren't working wandered over to the scene of the crime. Their little aches and pains will wait until tonight or tomorrow.
A squalid murder, it would seem.
Just like what this area has become.
My thanks, Doctor.
Not at all.
Alright, bye. Here you go.
Here is the medication, Watson. Is our man movable?
He should be able to stand in a few minutes and will no longer be suffering from his cough before long.
Consider the affair resolved. Accompany him to his niece's while I return to the boarding house, and then join me at the police station. Let's return to the boarding house.
Holmes doesn't have time for walking.
I have good news for you, Mr. Finley. We have sent the captain to stay with a relative, and he shouldn't bother you for a while.
I also have some good news. I have your police bag.
Thank you. I bid you good day.
Oh, it was nothing. Tell me, one of my wife's friends lost...
Another day, Finley. Another day. Let's go to the police station.
No time for walking. Only teleporting. Hey man, how's it going?
So, what news do you have, Mr. Holmes?
Are you sure it's the police bag that you lost?
Yes, but someone attempted to force it open. They didn't succeed, but now the lock is stuck. Perhaps you could...
Let's see.
I don't have shoes on, so I can't be dramatic. But what I do have are shoes next to me. I was like, they're not on, but it's gonna count. These shoes were made for walking. Sitting is what they'll do. One of these days, these shoes will do nothing for you. Totally off key, but doesn't matter. Open the bag. Where'd it go? Open. Oh, fudge. What's the combination? Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
All done.
Ah, a big thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Think nothing of it, my friend. So, the reports.
Why don't you wait till the inspectors get back? You would certainly learn more.
If I wanted to meet the inspectors, I would have done so. So, give me the preliminary reports, and above all, do not mention my visit to anyone. Is that clear?
Sure, if that's what you want. Here are the reports.
Thank you.
Death of Polly Nichols, 31, autopsy report. Her throat had been cut from left to right, 2 distinct cuts being on the left side, the windpipe, gullet, and spinal cord being cut through, a bruise apparently of a thumb being on the right lower jaw. Also, on the left cheek, the abdomen had been cut open from the center of the bottom of the ribs. What? The center of the bottom of the ribs, the along right side, under the pelvis, to the left of the stomach. Wait, what? 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 The abdomen. Okay. Damn it, Cass's feet. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to visualize this, because... What? Been cut from the center of the bottom of the ribs, the along right side, under the pelvis, to the left of the stomach. What? There, the wound was jagged. So do you, like, stab her and, like, go around her? The almond tub, or coating of the stomach, was also cut in several places, and 2 small stabs on private parts, apparently done with a strong bladed knife, supposed to have been done by some left-handed person, death being almost instantaneous. Abdomen, center of the bottom of the ribs, the long right side, under the pelvis. It's probably not an accident he was known as Jack the Ripper. I mean, he definitely ripped her up, but like, I'm trying to figure out the stabbing. Because I'm guessing the knife wasn't very deep. Center of the bottom of the ribs, along the right side, under the pelvis. That's the part that gets me. Some element of his cutting seems to have inspired the name. You don't say, Larrington. Because the pelvis is your hip bone. And it's under the pelvis to the left of the stomach. So it's like he started going down right, and then somehow got under the pelvis to the left of the stomach. Okay, so maybe he just went like instead of my crazy visual that I'm trying. Elementary!
Have you obtained the preliminary reports?
Yes, we'll read them on the go. Let's to the scene of the crime at Bucks Row, Watson.
Come, Watson. We fly! Also, it's been a minute. I'm paranoid. It's been 25 minutes.
But what are all these people doing here, Holmes?
Apparently, they came to see the scene of the crime.
What about us? Aren't we going to see it?
We will return this evening, Watson. The circumstances shall be ideal for carrying out our little experiments. Well, Watson, we are at the scene of the Polly Nichols murder. Imagine the victim lying at the spot where she was found and try to discern all of the clues we can. Watson, you are a writer. I am therefore entrusting you with our deduction board. It will help us to establish certain facts.
Understood, Holmes.
Deduction board? Oh!
Let's look at this poor woman more closely.
All right. Okay. Well, that dude has interesting taste, making out someone at the scene of the murder. Right? It's like, Polly Nichols got murdered right over there. And he's like, don't care, babe. You looking hot tonight.
The throat was slit from left to right. There are 2 incisions.
Uh-huh. No, ripped clothing isn't anything.
There's a bruise on the left cheek. The tongue is swollen.
We want to do eyes?
There is a bruise at the level of the right maxilla. The throat was slit from left to right. There are 2 incisions.
Clavicles.
A small pool of blood, 6 inches in diameter.
Is that everything? Is that everything?
No marks on the ground. The ground is muddy. No signs of blood.
What are we doing, Holmes?
The body was lying on its back, legs straight and slightly apart. The skirt had been lifted up to the middle of the body. The left hand was touching the barn door. The body was still warm. Let's reread the preliminary report for the details on the wounds inflicted upon this poor woman. There is a black bonnet near the left hand.
I like her shoes, though. Is there something else? No, it's all green. 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 Hey!
This spot is deserted, Holmes. The prostitutes only come here to exercise. This spot is deserted, Holmes. The
Exercise.
There is only one streetlight lit on this street, Watson, and this spot is particularly poorly lit. Well, Watson, we have found all of the possible clues, I think. We will now attempt to recreate the scene of the murder. Come closer, Watson. I have to make you up.
You are joking, Holmes?
Oh my god, yes!
I feel ridiculous, Holmes.
But do you feel bonita?
Now, Watson, come and stand here in front of me. You shall play the role of the poor woman and I shall play that of the murderer. Let's try to reconstruct the facts to ensure the final result corresponds indisputably to the way that Polly Nichols was killed.
I feel bonita. Wonderful, because you look bonita! Alright. What? I'm just hovering above my buddy like, hey, homie, did your makeup? We're in a dark alleyway. People are smashing behind us right now, making a living, but you know, they're fucking. Let me pretend to murder you! Friendship. Friendship. Only the truest of friends. Okay. Well. Okay. I choke you. I'm assuming left hand. Let's see. Jack's position.
This position is unlikely.
Really? Because that's what we saw. Okay. Murdering.
Sorry, Watson. No, the victim wasn't already lying down on the ground before dying.
Alright. I'm pretty sure we saw it, right? Like, I was in front. I choked. I don't know, let's try stabby stab.
No, had the victim had her throat slit while standing, there would naturally be blood on the walls.
Yeah.
This position is unlikely.
think it was here?
No, there is no reason the murderer would be positioned. This position isn't very comfortable either. Yes, it's quite possible the events occurred like this.
Okay. Did we get what we need? Oh, I can like look around and oh. Watson, you are a good sport. You're a good sport. Okay. That's what we, right? That's everything? No? What am I missing?
Sorry, Watson. No, the victim wasn't already lying down on the ground before dying. Yes, it's quite possible the events occurred like this.
Right? Why are you doubting me then?
No, there is no reason. This position isn't very comfortable. Yes, it's quite possible.
What am I missing?
This position is unlikely.
Yeah, help. Determine how his victim was killed. The icons at the bottom of the screen will help you to choose position of the victim, played by Dr. Watson, and the different possible actions of the killer. From left to right, the icons represent position of the victim, knife in the killer's hand or barehanded, which hand struck, killer blows, zone, neck or stomach, position of the killer compared to his victim. What am I doing wrong? Because he's like, nah, it's not the knife.
No, had the victim had her
Yeah.
No, had the victim had her
Yeah. Do I have to recreate both? Is that what they're trying to tell me? Maybe.
No, I don't think that things went like that. The murderer didn't attempt to stab his victim in the stomach.
I guess, yeah, we're just getting all the clues.
No, I don't think that... No, I don't think that... No, I don't think that things... Yes, it's quite possible the event...
I'm supposed to get like a crazy POV? What am I doing here? That's everything, right? I feel like we recreated it. Murder deduction board. Okay. Okay, the victim was dumped. The murderer warmed the victim up. The victim wasn't dragged. Okay. The murderer beat the victim. The bruises were caused by hard pressure. The murderer gagged the victim by gripping tightly. I mean, Watson just standing there like, you know, they're best bros for a reason. Took place on the premise. Was strangled. Oh. Right hand prevented the victim from screaming. There was relations while standing up. Prevented the victim. Okay. Strangled the victim with the right hand. Strangled with both hands. No? Left hand? Right hand? Okay. Ah! Okay. Oh, I was like, no! What's happening? It was just a different part. I thought I accidentally reset the whole thing. Oh, you're getting up, Cass? Do you enjoy your nap under my desk? Yes, I love you. Alright, poorly lit street. No traces of blood. Okay. Black bonnet, poorly lit. The prostitutes only go down this site. Time. Sure. Victim was asking for alms. Victim wasn't afraid. Yeah, they weren't afraid. Wasn't cautious. Didn't have a bonnet. She was ready to exercise. The wall was washed. The killer slit. Didn't have her throat slit while standing. A little pool of blood. The blood didn't flow in strong spurts. The blood spurted. The murderer wanted to drain the victim of her blood. Dirty and damp ground. He could not have had relations on the ground. The murderer threw water on the ground. There were relations on the ground. Oh god. Wasn't killed here. Was dead before being stretched out and having her throat slit. I'm sorry, stretched out? Oop, that's wrong. Okay. Okay. Do I have everything? I feel like I'm missing something. Like, I don't know if there needs to be more, or if this is supposed to make another one. Are we done with this? I don't think we're done, but I'm gonna...
I have no reason to go that way.
Watson, what am I missing? Nope, we're back to this again. I'm done playing with you, Watson. I might need my guide again, because I think I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Alright, let's see. This is what? Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper? I would like a guide, please. For I am stretched it. Never mind. Warning, this game has gory scenes. Oh, you don't say. This game was made in 2009, I believe. Alright, Bucks Road. Did that. Did that. Did that. Did that. Did that. Did that. Investigation. Head. Got papers on the left side. Right click. Alright, click the throat. Click the tongue. Click the bruise on the right jaw. Click on the left cheek. Click on the abdomen cut. Click on the bonnet. Click on the ground. In front of Holmes, the ground is muddy. Said twice, just to make sure. Oops, sorry, wrong people. No, we did that. Click on the wall fence, no traces of blood. Comment on the toilet street. Click on the couple. See selections within a circle what could possibly happen during the crime. Click on the help icon at the top right to know the steps. Select the possible position of the victim, method of murder, left or right hand, wound and position of murderer. Click the single arrow to see the reenactment. If Holmes agrees, the 3 arrows will light up. Move the camera's point of view of the reenactment by moving the little green box. Seen inside the bottom right frame. Wait, is there actually a specific angle they want me to see this at?
Yes, it's quite possible the events occurred like this.
Again, Holmes. You are a sport. What? From left to right, select laying down. Knife. Sorry, this position looks precarious. Left hand. Neck. Facing the victim.
The murderer had enough room to inflict the wounds to the neck, and these wounds suggest the left hand was used.
That's what I was missing. Step 2.
My dear Watson, now that we have found all of our clues, nothing remains but to subject them to our most likely hypotheses in order to deduce the facts.
There we go. Alright, what am I missing? Killer's left-handed, had 2 knives. He's left-handed. Apparently that's wrong. Is a big man, a strong man, a woman? Big man? No, strong man.
The victim was most probably dead before being laid down. Once the heart stopped, gravity drained the body slowly, not in a heavy spurt that would have stained half the street.
Thank you, Holmes. I understand why you told me not to change clothes. Do you realize that our behavior didn't alarm anyone?
The victim's ordeal was even more discreet. By acting in silence, we have confirmed something. The crime definitely took place here. The victim and her murderer were able to come here without making any noise, and afterwards the murder took place without the slightest cry being uttered. Come, Watson, let's go home. We have spent far too long in this sinister alley.
Ooh, it's sinister now.
And so, my dear Watson, the day and night which we passed in Whitechapel were enlightening, weren't they?
An adventure that I most certainly will never relate. To be in the skin of that poor woman. I prefer not to speak of it further. But have we really learned anything about the murderer? Obviously a man, given the necessary strength.
We have little to go on, at least no more than the police. But in my opinion, Inspector Aberline has a trick or two up his sleeve. No, I want to talk about the facts and what we can draw from them. We know where the crime was committed and under what conditions. I would like to ask you about the possible motives for the crime. According to you, Watson, what could have pushed the murderer to act in such a way?
I mean, in today's day and age, there's a name for that. No. Horrible mutilations, credible motive, even if it's a field that Sherlock doesn't know. Victim was an occasional prostitute without family or ties. The victim lived in misery. Resentment can lead to irreparable acts. Would it be this?
Black magic?
I'm not terribly interested in the occult or black magic. Let's give the benefit of the doubt to this motive.
Without family ties. I don't...
A personal drama?
Love can certainly lead to many a drama, but we have to consider the fact that the victim didn't know her attacker.
Homicidal insanity, Holmes.
It is indubitable that the man who did this to Polly Nichols is not of his full senses.
Theft, perhaps.
I have a hard time believing that someone would attack poor Polly so fiercely just to rob her of a few coins.
Revenge, Holmes?
Revenge could be a possible motive, but with one small reservation. We have reason to believe that the victim considered her murderer to be a typical client.
Sorry, catching Pokemon.
Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
I love how tiny our little board is. It's so cute!
Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
What am I missing?
Revenge, Holmes?
Revenge.
What am I doing?
A personal drama?
Just gonna put it all back.
Homicidal
It is in...
Theft. Black magic?
I'm not... Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
What would you have me do? That's a big ass pencil.
I need more information.
Is this my room? Oh, we've updated it. Or is this Watson's room? This might be Watson's room. I think it's his room. This is my room. What am I doing? Huh? You don't need to switch the thing to yes for madness, maybe? Oh, yeah. Good point. Good point. I was like, I feel like I'm... Well, what could have been the possible motive of the crime? I was like, I don't think madness, but it could be madness. Revenge, I would say.
Elementary.
Oh, I was kidding about
Very
black
well,
magic.
Watson. I think that we've exhausted the topic. Take a rest and we'll speak again later.
It's either black magic.
It would seem that the
Madness.
investigation is advancing, Holmes. Yesterday's Star said that a suspect is in the hands of the police, a man with a rather sinister reputation.
I was about to join you in your optimistic outlook until you informed me that the good news came from the press, Watson.
But surely they wouldn't invent the fact that the police are holding a suspect, or the acts that are attributed to him.
You will have an exact answer to these two questions in less than 50 seconds, Watson.
Pardon?
Enter, Inspector.
Good day.
Dear Watson, allow me to introduce Inspector Aberline, Inspector Dr. Watson.
Inspector?
To what do we owe the honor of your presence, Inspector?
I heard that the two of you made your way to Whitechapel a few days ago. Your arrival, you are aware, coincides with a very serious affair which our police service is going to great lengths to solve and which is creating strong tensions in the area.
Pardon me, but haven't you arrested someone? A certain Leather Apron?
Absolutely not. The man who hides behind this name is indeed being actively searched for by the force. Besides, nothing at the moment suggests that he is the Bucks Row murderer.
There, you've been enlightened, Watson. Now it is our turn to answer Inspector Aberline's questions.
Indeed. I will be brief and precise. Do you intend to investigate this case, or have you already started?
It is to be of service to a friend that I went to Whitechapel. We did, out of curiosity, familiarize ourselves with the preliminary reports, and we made our way to the scene of the crime. Our conclusions are slim, as are the clues. Having not been officially appointed by a client, I believe that my intervention in this business will end there.
Very well. To be frank, you take the weight off my shoulders by distancing yourself from the case. Our image isn't very good, to say nothing of what the press puts us through. Thus, if overnight they found out that you were on the case, people would turn against us.
And they would pester me, overwhelm me, and finally make me out to be responsible for the inevitable failure such a scenario entails. Neither you nor I wish for this to happen. I know that your time is precious, Inspector. I will send you a note regarding my conclusions shortly.
With pleasure. Gentlemen?
Do you think that he will find the murderer?
The chances are slim to non-existent. It is 7 days now, short of a confession from the murderer himself.
And you will not go further?
You heard the Inspector, Watson. My presence in Whitechapel would hinder, which doesn't mean that we will drop the case.
How is that?
The Inspector spoke of me, but not of us. It is you, Watson, who will lead the investigation tonight. It is you who will bring to the police station the little note that I will write regarding our conclusions. Despite the late hour, there is nothing to stop you from making inquiries about this famous leather apron while you are there.
I was looking at my toe. And my crazy bruise. There's still just a perfect line underneath my toe. And I think I know where the break happened. Because it's still uber tender. But it's also the fact that, like, in between my other toes, there's still bruising. And I'm just like, how far did this go? How far did I Bust my foot. Alright, Watson! You gonna teleport there, or are we gonna walk there? Can I walk there? Oh my god. Breakdancing is not your forte, it seems. Hey! Honestly, I think I'd rather hurt my foot from breakdancing than how I actually hurt it. Even though it's funny. Alright. To the police!
Well, if I follow Holmes's instructions, then to begin my investigation into this leather apron, I must first head to the police station.
Perfect. Good time to save. Took the break part a little literally. Yeah, apparently. What's up, man?
Good evening, sir. What do you... I know you. You were here last week with Sherlock Holmes.
Shut your mouth.
Indeed. I have come to bring a message from Sherlock Holmes for Inspector Aberline.
Very well, I will pass it on. But come to think of it, someone was asking about you recently. Finley, the caretaker of some shady boarding house nearby. Does that mean anything to you?
Ah, perhaps.
Perhaps, yes.
Actually, I read in the Star that you have arrested a suspect called Leather Apron.
You shouldn't believe what you read in that rag, sir. The man is being hunted, but we have yet to get our hands on him, and we aren't close to it either.
Why ever not?
Bah, he's a specialist in the streetwalker racket. These girls make pitiful witnesses, and we don't inspire confidence. Furthermore, the man seems to be pretty discreet lately. Someone must be helping to hide him.
How to get on his trail, then?
One of these girls would have to confide in us and give a valid description of the man. Then we'd ask around the journeymen, who use aprons, I imagine.
Okay.
Well, goodbye. I must go to Finley's boarding house.
Goodbye.
I must go to Finley's boarding house.
Yeah, I'm there.
Good evening, Finley.
Oh, good evening, sir. Aren't you the gentleman who was with the great detective the other time?
That is indeed me, Dr. Watson. Tell me, Finley, I was told that you were looking for us at the police station.
Indeed, I wanted to thank you for last time, you know. That vagrant has never set foot round mine again. I even found a tenant, one who pays his rent, I mean.
You don't seem very happy, but you were lucky to have found a good tenant so quickly.
It's just that this man is very strange. He paid several days in advance and I gave him a key to the place. Since then, he goes out every night and returns at ungodly hours. I'm sure he goes to visit the ladies, but still, every night. And when he moved in, something must have broken in his case and stank up the stairs in his room for 2 days. I think it was a jar. It must be over there.
Tell me, have you heard talk of Leather Apron?
By the papers, that's all. This man seems very sinister.
Do you know any journeymen who use this type of apron?
The slaughterhouse butchers, I believe, but definitely the cobblers. I know one, old Isaac Solomonovich. His workshop is on a small street in the Jewish community, across from the hospital. He's a good man. He can help you. But you know, the people there are very close and don't share much with non-Jews.
No, it can't be this easy. Right, I'm like, it can't be.
Thank you, Finley.
At your service, sir.
Like, it's just some dude who's like, you know what? I enjoy the ladies. I might as well just be down there. Makes traveling easy. Where is it? You said it was in the trash?
This odor is very strong indeed, but the whole neighborhood as such has a dreadful stench. Finley might have an idea as to what this jar that contained.
What do you want, Doctor?
So this. Sniff it.
You're right, the pieces of the jar that your tenant broke do give off a strange smell.
It's true. That's quite normal given his trade.
Yes, and what would the trade be of your strange tenant?
A doctor, like yourself, I believe. Dr. Tumblety, a foreigner. Canadian, perhaps?
Dr. Tumblety. It might be interesting to know more about him.
I want it to be this easy. I want Dr. Tumblety, an evil Canadian, to be Jack the Ripper.
Thank you, Finley.
At your service, sir.
Okay. Where now? What's up, man?
Tell me, is it...
You should return home, sir.
Okay, bye. Do I just go back to Baker Street? Hold on, we're checking. Do I just go back to Baker Street? Uh-huh. Talk to him. Learn about Dr. Tumblety Foreigner. Okay, I gotta go to Lucy. Hey!
Oh, it's you. I'm coming. Dr. Watson, how are you?
Sorry, I had to squish the gutter goblin real quick. I was like, keep it together!
Well, and yourself? And how's your uncle?
Oh, he sleeps a lot, but he doesn't seem to be suffering. Your medicine has worked wonders. Thank you again.
It was the least I could do.
I swear, I just gotta Dr. Watson has game.
I have come to see you about a certain leather apron. Have you heard of him?
Oh, yes, of course. Terrible things are said about that man.
Have you ever come across him?
Goodness gracious, no. But I know that he has threatened and taken many girls in my situation. I don't know what more I can say, but Bella will be able to tell you some.
Who is Bella?
Bella Pullman. She's the landlady of the place where I could take you there if you like.
Please do.
It's me. It's Lucy. This gentleman would like to speak to Bella. It's the doctor who helped me. I must leave to return to my uncle. Thanks again.
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
I love your voice, though. Scandalous. She's touching his shoulder. Oh.
If you'd be patient, Madam Bella will arrive in a moment.
They look nice with their little bonnets.
Good evening. I am Dr. Watson. It is young Lucy who told me to come see you.
Ah, so you're the Good Samaritan who saved her uncle without asking for anything in return. And now you've come to see me, no doubt, to explain that the poor little thing doesn't belong here, and you will see to her future. Well, if you expect me to let her leave with you...
It's not that, Ma'am. You should know I am a married man.
And why should that matter?
She has a point. Next, they'll be holding hands. I heard kissing in the background. What are they saying?
I believe there has been a misunderstanding. The reason that Lucy sent me here is that you may be able to give me some information about Leather Apron.
Are you a doctor or a constable?
I am most certainly a doctor, but I am acting in this matter in a private capacity, and I would like to find this man.
Well, if you're able to rid us of him, I'll give you a week's worth of free passes. That man is a thorn in our sides. He spies on the girls in the streets and watches them inside the houses, spying through the windows. And as soon as they're finished with a client, he jumps on them without any warning and forces them to give him their money. I've never seen him, but one of my girls was attacked by this man, and she said that he wore a leather apron and carried a knife. And his face, oh, he has a horrible head, with rat's eyes and a deformed mouth. She even said that she knew his name, Pizer, or Pizer, I think. but I don't know where she can be found. Margie, Nutcracker, the girl I'm talking about, could tell you more, but I had to let her go last week.
Sorry. I'm sorry, her name's what? Her name is Margie the Nutcracker? Was that before or after you let her go?
Why did you let Margie go?
The poor girl caught a shameful sickness, and the symptoms have attacked her face, if you know what I mean. So I gave her notice, and a little bit to help her along. I don't know where she is now, but she'll certainly be getting treatment at the clinic if she's still in the neighbourhood.
Did you speak to the police?
What would they do? Who cares about the girls in the streets?
I gotta just... I'm killing the goblin because I'm like, oh, you don't like... And it's like, Nina, wholesome, because somebody's gonna ask you, they're like, what does that acronym mean? And it's like, I can't tell you to Google it because you will instantly know what it means. I need like a... I just need like a giant hand or something that just says, stop it.
Would you have received a visit from another doctor, a stranger by the name of Tumblety?
I'm just like you, Doctor, sworn to secrecy in my profession. But as I've taken a fancy to you, I can tell you that this name is not unknown to me. And if you do me a little favour, it is possible I might remember something about him.
What kind of favour must I do for you?
You see that man over there? He's a rich artist, a painter, a regular client round here. Well, yesterday, he came and left his cane in the umbrella stand in the hall before going into one of the rooms. Well, when he returned to this room, the cane had disappeared. It's a cane with a massive silver knob. Must be worth a fortune. He threatened to call the police unless he got free services in my establishment for a year. I'll be forced to accept, unwillingly, of course, given the services that he's demanding, unless the cane is found.
Did you question the residents regarding the theft?
They didn't see anything, and there's not one of them that would risk stealing from a client here.
Who was in the room when your weasel of a client was in the chambers?
There were a few that came and went, but Mary could tell you better than I can, because she was the one at the counter yesterday.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem, my angel.
What happened to this rug?
Oh, it's when we got a coal yesterday. I asked the young man to fill the pail. Came back to put it down, but his feet were covered in soot and he made a black print. Madam Bella said it was my fault and I got a shilling's penalty. I also have to clean the print and it's no picnic. He has immense feet, that boy.
Start singing, a wizard's staff has a knob on the end, a wizard's staff has a knob on the end, a knob on the end, a knob on the end, a wizard's staff has a knob on the end. I don't think I know that one.
I heard that there was a theft yesterday. Did you see anything?
No, and I was here the whole time.
Who delivers the coal?
It's never the same person. I'd never seen that lad before.
Do you always keep an eye on the coat stand?
Oh, yes. Well, when the coal delivery came, a client came out of the chambers and stopped me from seeing the boy who brought the bucket of coal. You don't think he would have taken advantage?
Stolen from the Discworld books, I think. I can believe it. Which, by the way, Good Omens Season 2. Next month. So excited.
Until next time, miss.
With pleasure, sir.
Can't wait. I'm so excited. Okay. Well, that was informative.
Best not to stray off in that direction. Best not to stray off in that direction. Best not to stray off in that direction.
Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my dear man. I was led to believe that you're a doctor.
None of the residents of this establishment are among my patients, sir.
Oh, you're not here as a doctor, but as a man, then. I understand. This is my kind of place, too. It's in these houses in Whitechapel that you find the girls that are the most natural and definitely the most docile.
Your way of speaking about these women is not that of a gentleman, sir.
Ooh, what? No, 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 no. Do that again. His one eye just went here, 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 here. Yeah, it's only the right eye that moves. All right. Because in the UK, knob is an insult, also sometimes a euphemism.
I heard that you were the victim of a robbery here.
Oh, I'm not complaining. The loss of that walking stick will certainly bring me a very pleasant compensation.
Oop, oop. Oop, oop, his eyes.
What does your cane look like?
The stick is ebony, about 35 inches long. The round knob is made from chiseled silver with a ring around the middle of the same workmanship, just like the tip, for that matter. If you find it, don't tell a soul. Keep it for yourself. Got it?
Well, goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, or until next time. And good evening.
These paintings are suggestive, at the very least.
Anything else I gotta do here? Nope. Well, find that other girl. To the clinic! Let me in! Let me in! Looks like you got some people, Doc. What's up, man?
Good evening, Doctor. My name is Dr. Watson. Pleased to meet you.
Good evening. I am Dr. Gibbons. Likewise.
I have come to see you about one of your patients. Margie goes by the nickname Nutcracker, who gets her prescription from the clinic. She's a lady of the night and is afflicted with a venereal disease.
I know who you're talking about. Indeed, Margie has syphilis and is being treated with mercury.
Do you have her address?
No. And for your information, she left London for good 3 days ago. She felt threatened.
35, about average for Nina. Huh? Like temperature-wise? What was the temperature? Oh my god, yeah, it's 93 degrees Fahrenheit.
Margie felt threatened. But by whom?
I believe that Margie was particularly scared of a terrifying man who attacked her once.
Did she say the name Pizer or Pyther?
Unfortunately, she didn't give a name, but she described a man with shifty, rat-like eyes and a mouth twisted in a sinister grimace.
Did Margie have any idea where this man who terrified her so much might be found?
No, but she told me that another girl who'd been attacked like her had told her that this man worked in a cobbler's run by an old Israeli. Also, she saw him again last week, the night of a big fire. She told of going to see the fire like most everyone else in the area. While there, she recognised her attacker in the crowds gathered at the warehouses. There was no mistaking a face like that, she said. She kept an eye on the man the whole time the firemen were working in order to avoid him.
Oof. Oof to all of y'all with the heat. That's, no bueno.
Goodbye, Dr. Gibbons.
Until we meet again, my dear colleague.
Oh, footprints?
A large, black footprint.
There's a bunch of canes here. There's a bunch of canes here! I bet I'm gonna have to come back. Get it. Am I missing anything else in this area? Talk to Gibbons. Uh-huh. Ask about the footprints. Oh, okay.
What can I do for you?
Pardon me, Doctor, but who made the large black footprints there near the beds?
The brother of one of my patients. The poor thing had a leg amputated after colliding with a carriage. We arranged to find her a prosthesis.
Prostheses are very expensive. How did this man pay?
He told me that one of his uncles gave him a walking stick with a chiselled silver knob. I agreed to accept this knob in exchange for a simple prosthesis with harness. But this object is of great value, and I could finance half a dozen other prostheses by selling it on Petticoat Lane.
Doctor, I have reason to believe that the silver knob that you possess is from a cane that was stolen by the man who brought it to you, and I believe I know to whom it belongs.
That's what I was worried about. The story of the uncle seemed a little strange. Nevertheless, you must have proof of what you claim. I will show you all of the knobs that we have here. If you find the knob that the young man gave me, I will believe you.
Oh, I know exactly where that knob is.
So be it, but something is bothering me. I will need a complete cane, not just a knob.
Don't worry, dear chap, build one. I can loan you some tools. Make use of the odds and ends in my cupboard. It'll help get rid of it.
Well, I shall try. I will have to remember the description that Sickert gave.
Something 35, knob, ring around the middle, same style.
Goodbye, Dr. Gibbons.
Until we meet again.
I gotta touch all these knobs now. Hand him over. Oh, now it's open. Okay. He said black ivory, right? Right? Are you 35? Really? This small? Okay. Can't be right. Yeah, because I'm like 35 is here. This doesn't seem right. Hold on. Alright, the stick is ebony, about 35 inches long. The round knob is made from chiseled silver with a ring around the middle of the same workmanship. Just like the tip, for that matter. If you find it, don't tell us all. Nina thinks 35 is small. Yeah, I bet, like, I'm looking at the measurements here. And I'm like, the 35, if it's right here, it seems really small in comparison to the entire stick. Okay, so silver of the same design. I imagine it's this?
There, all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself.
Oh, let's go.
What can I do for you, my dear colleague?
Is this the knob?
I believe I found the knob from the stolen cane, which I succeeded in putting back together.
That's the one. And yet I cannot give it to you, Doctor. I will only return it to the police, and only if there is an official complaint against me.
Would there be a way to convince you to give me the cane?
Find me a dozen solid adjustable harnesses for wooden leg prostheses, and it's yours, Doctor.
Where am I going to find that?
Goodbye, Dr. Gibbons.
Until we meet again, my dear colleague.
Where am I going to find that? Uh-huh. I did the cane. For a dozen leg. Okay, well, let's just... Oh, I'm deducing.
This interview with the doctor revealed an important fact. Leather Apron could not be the Bucks Row murderer. According to Margie, the villain passed most of the night of the crime at the fire. He could not have been at the scene of the murder at the moment it was committed. He is, nonetheless, a dangerous character.
Quick save. Okay. What's up, man?
Tell me, is it...
Leave me alone.
That's fair. Boots?
A cobbler's shop.
Boots?
There's nobody here. How very odd.
Somebody's getting murdered right now. I was like, the sign looked very distinct. I was like, this shop has a storefront.
I say, these things look like harnesses. Oh my, they are noisy. Good evening, sir. Pardon the interruption. The door was open. I didn't think that I would find anyone working at this hour.
Good evening, sir. I didn't hear you come in.
I need about 12 of these.
Say, those things that made noise, they are really harnesses, aren't they?
Yes, horse harnesses. But I must tell you, sir, that the store is normally closed at this hour. That is why I've asked you to return tomorrow.
I didn't come about my shoes. I came to speak of a cobbler, perhaps one of your former employees? A man with very particular habits.
You aren't with the police by any chance? I'm sorry, but I do not want to speak of anything but shoes with you.
I am not a policeman. I am Dr. Watson. It's Mr. Finley, who told me that you might be in a position to inform me.
Ah, that Mr. Finley is a very brave man. And if he sent you, then you must certainly be a worthy man also. So, Doctor, who is this cobbler with strange habits?
Man, I think that's so cool. Like, if someone sends someone else to you, where it's like you just have that reputation, where it's like, oh, so-and-so sent you to me? Oh, they are worthy. If they sent you, you must be good too. Like, it's just like, oh, reputation. So nice.
The man of whom I speak is called Pizer or Pyther, a man with a frightening face. Do you know him?
Yes, John Pizer. He worked here for a while, but he is no longer here.
Where is he?
Do you know where I can find him?
No, and if you look, you will not find him.
Why?
Because he is in hiding, Doctor. You see, a week ago, a horrible murder took place in the neighborhood. A rumor circulated that he might have been responsible for this crime. They say he has quarreled with women of certain virtue in the past, if you understand me.
I like how the subtitle said uncertain, but they were like, no, it's certain virtue.
Isaac, it is about the Bucks Row case that I have come to see you. I have the certitude and an incontestable witness that Pizer is innocent, at least of this crime, although he has attacked a number of street women. If he doesn't come forward to explain himself to the authorities, he is condemned to hiding and to take the fall for this murder. Furthermore, it will cast suspicions on your community because they must be hiding him. And while the whole police force is hunting for him, they cannot concentrate on the real assassin who roams the streets and, one never knows, may take any one of you any day.
If what you say is true, your visit is a godsend to our community, Doctor. I tell you something. I know Sergeant Thick, an honest policeman who lives in the area. I'll tell John's family that he must go there to explain himself. But if you could please go as soon as possible to the police to give them this report that you say is incontestable.
I will go as soon as I take leave of you.
Thank you. If I can ever be of service in any way, do not hesitate to ask.
12 harnesses. Immediately. I need 12 harnesses.
Could we transform your horse harnesses into harnesses for wooden legs? Adjustable harnesses?
A good craftsman can do anything, Doctor. And I do believe that's what I am. Come back in a while and it will be done. That will be my thanks for what you have done.
All right. Thank you.
I shall return later.
At your convenience, sir.
I am spent. I would like to return home, but I promised to go to the police as soon as I could. Now then, let's go to the police station.
I got you, buddy. Boop. Poor Watson. It's probably like 4 in the morning. He's just like, I've seen so many things walking up and down these streets. Meanwhile, oh no! Cat's meat.
Will you?
Yes.
Hey, Doctor, you seem tired. Were you wandering the darker parts of Whitechapel all night?
You could say that. I have some information on Leather Apron, the man of whom we spoke earlier.
Do you know where he is?
No, but I can clear him of the Bucks Row crime. A witness proved him totally innocent.
Oh, Watson, Watson, is it only now, after many hours of walking, that you decide to pass on the important message that Inspector Aberline is waiting for?
But, no. But what are you doing here, Holmes?
I was worried, Watson, and with good reason it would appear. Go give the message to this policeman and let's go home. Nobody appreciates me hanging around here, you know, and it's freezing cold.
Ah, Creddle, none too soon. You will take the testimony of this...
No, you continue with your duty shift. I must find Chandler in Ambury Street. He's struck again.
Who?
The murderer, the Bucks Row assassin.
Hanbury Street. Let's go, Watson. We have no time to lose.
Okay. What's so far?
Hanbury Street. Let's go, Watson. We have no time to lose.
I already clicked it. It's 6:20 in the morning. Let him sleep. Let the poor man sleep.
You can go in, Mr. Holmes. She's there. We didn't touch a thing.
I don't know. Prepare yourselves. That sheet is so thin.
It was very good of PC Chandler to let us pass. He said no one has touched the corpse. It's the perfect opportunity for us to put our skills to the test. Watson, let's not waste it.
London. Okay.
A torn envelope. It smells of rubbing alcohol. It contains 3 pills. I will take one. 2 should suffice for the police.
Oh. Was brought out. Envelope drifted. Envelope fell. A. Chapman was holding an envelope in her hand. Belongs to the killer. No. We got like 3 sections. Okay. Ooh, I gotta be careful.
A piece of coarse muslin. 2 combs, curiously arranged.
Oh, that is pretty sus.
The blood is a dozen inches or so from the ground. Bloodstains on the wall. So, Doctor, shall we examine our victim?
Ah, I'm tired, Holmes. I'm not sure if I am in a state to do this work.
Come, Watson, there is little time. Show me what you're made of.
Well, when you butter me up like that,
Oh,
Holmes.
my God.
Pray, Watson, pull yourself together. Can you establish the time of the crime?
The extremities of the corpse are cold and rigor mortis is beginning to set in. I would say that the murder was committed over 2 hours ago, before 4:30 a.m.
Oh, look, now we just have the beautiful drawing.
Now, let's look at the stomach, or at least what remains of it.
It's dreadful, Holmes. Who could do that to someone?
That's what you're here for, Watson. Tell me what this man has done.
The stomach has been entirely opened and... Oh, my God! A number of organs have been removed.
So, you're telling me that the organs were removed, Watson. They weren't ripped out.
Not at all, Holmes. On the contrary, this is clearly the work of an expert. I couldn't have done any better myself. And the uterus is missing.
Odd thing to steal.
Looky here. It would seem he has a mark on his left hand.
Said he, which is totally fine.
The victim must have worn a large ring or several little ones, and someone pulled them off forcefully. This detail will be very valuable, Watson. You can be sure of that.
Okay, bye.
Let's look at this poor woman more closely. A bruise. The tongue is swollen. Look at her neck. What can you tell me?
There are 2 incisions.
The victim's face appears to have bruising, wouldn't you say?
Under the maxilla and cheek. There is less on the right side.
That's everything, at least for this moment.
This fence separates the courtyard from the neighbour's 27 Hanbury Street. This door must lead to the cellar. The latch has been recently repaired. This apron is soaked with water and has left a clear mark on the ground. It must have been left in water for several hours and has been there for some time. What a stench! Nobody is hiding inside. There are no trails on the ground. There's no sign of a struggle. My dear Watson, now that we have found all of our clues, nothing remains but to subject them to our most likely hypotheses in order to deduce the facts.
Alright. The murderer used a bad knife. The murderer used a very sharp knife. The murderer panicked. Going around the neck, there's an incision. Stopping in the middle is jerky and not all in one piece. So a bad knife. With a short, supple blade. No, not short and supple. Great. Great size. Drew marks on her neck. Wanted to remove the Loitus? Wanted to decapitate her. Loitus? No. No. Drew mark. Oh? Oh? Oh, it's all wrong. There we go. He was a very sharp blade and he wanted to decapitate her. Yeah, uterus. Well, it wasn't ripped out. It was removed and taken. Has a knowledge of anatomy. Lost the uterus. Went at it with a fury. He has a knowledge. Alright, what do we got? The items at the victim's feet are very orderly. Belong to the victim. The body's cold. Barely 2 hours ago. And scratched him. Recent large scrape on the first flanks of the middle finger. 1 or more rings. Took off her rings. Murder's weak man. The murderer stole her rings. The murder was committed before. Murderer Lex Combs is unfeeling and organized. Struggled greatly. Possesses some feminine items. Murderer searched him. She didn't struggle. Nope. Okay, apparently he got searched. Alright, what do we got? The killer blurred the traces. The victim wasn't dragged. The killer... Victim had her throat slit while lying down and still alive. The victim had her throat slit while standing up. The victim had her throat slit while lying down and already dead. I'm gonna say alive, because that's how you get them. Because, you know, it's your heart pumping that causes the... If the heart doesn't pump, then it just goes... Ooh. Clean the ground. Took place on the premises. Took place elsewhere. Premises. Murderer held the victim's chin with his right hand. Slit the victims with the right. Slit with his left. I almost want to say both, but probably left. It's not ambidextrous. It's not left-handed. I got something wrong. There it is. He's right-handed. Took us a second. Tongue is bloated. Means they were strangled. And usually you have the eye stuff, but... Died of strangulation, was partially strangled, and then her had her throat slit. Second one.
I hear a noise coming from the street, Watson. The authorities are arriving. It's time for us to go.
Holmes has been locked away in his room for days, always saying the same things. I'm thinking, Watson. Very good, Watson. As you wish, Watson. But I am thinking too, so much so that I can't sleep. Annie Chapman. Good Lord.
Oh, Watson. You and your big heart.
Holmes examined the broken jar that belonged to Finley's tenant. I wonder what this substance is. I don't recognize the odor.
Formalin, Watson. This jar contained formalin. Interesting, don't you think? I've been waiting for something for days. Just the tiniest bit of news that would make sense of this whole matter. But there's nothing, neither from the press nor the police. Unless Inspector Aberline is holding on to some information without realizing its importance, which is quite possible. It is time for you to return to the police station in Whitechapel, Watson. And didn't you tell me that you had a matter to take care of it? Take advantage of it to learn more about this pill and its contents.
Ah, but Holmes, it's late, and spending another night in this district is hardly my idea of entertainment.
I know, Doctor, but we don't have any choice. Time is against us. Take your pistol in case you run into any troublesome characters.
Fine, as you wish, Holmes.
Oh, back in the day when you could just carry a pistol. Alright. Police? Alright. I'm going to the police. Be like, hey, what the fudge is going on? I should also save.
Good evening. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Not at all, Doctor. This man, Mr. Richardson, is a witness to the horrid affair at 29 Hanbury Street, the murder of Annie Chapman. We are discussing the relevance of his testimony.
You're probably not in a position to discuss it with me, but I would like to know more about what you call the relevance of this young man's testimony.
Oh, there's no secrecy. It's simply that the testimony given by Mr. Richardson doesn't match the time of death given by the coroner, Dr. Phillips.
What was the time of death, according to him?
Before 4:30 in the morning.
My conclusions were the same. Were there any other conflicting testimonies?
Well, 2 other witnesses summoned at the preliminary inquest gave testimony, but in these cases too, the times don't match.
Do you remember what it was they said?
I didn't question them myself. A colleague of mine took down their statements on paper, but on deciding they were of little use, he tore them up and threw them in the bin. There's no point in being bogged down with useless paperwork.
Which trash bin?
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Which trash bin? Gunpoint from the White Plume Mountain Inn, also called the Kayak Affair. Benjamin Benny the Scholar. I'm guessing that's his last name, because it's Benjamin, a nickname. Houndsditch, falsifying bank records, using false bank records to misappropriate funds to the detriment of the Royal Bank of London. Jacob Levi, theft of a weight of meat from his employer. Stole meat. Ron Obvious. Oh my god, that's a great name. Please tell me he's a captain. Please. Address unknown, vagrancy, embezzlement, indecent assault, degradation of a religious building to the detriment of the authorities in charge of the Chichester Cathedral. James Longfoot Jim Noser.
An old report on arrests that took place a few years earlier.
Few years. When was the last time you guys
Here are
emptied
the
this
ripped
bin?
statements. I can piece them together again.
When was the last time they emptied this bin? Years. Excuse me. This might be the corner. Evidently, the police have been and gone. Dun dun dun. Ooh. I don't know where this goes now. Because it doesn't really match the other places. Wait, are there like... Oh my god, are there fake ones? You son of a bitch. There's fake ones. Oh, that's clever. And evil. Good on you. Good on you, you sneaky sneaks. Okay, well this match. And this matches. Maybe that matches? It's definitely a testimony of two different people. Slowly but surely. Oh, is it like two documents side by side? Is that what's happening? Maybe. It's two documents side by side. Okay. That explains so much. Oh, okay. I was like, I'm not this bad at solving things, am I? Got it. Got it. The sneaky sneaks.
There, all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself.
Alright, on the morning of the murder, the witness left her domicile at 32 Church Street at approximately 5 a.m. to get to Spatial Fields Market. She was passing down Hanbury Street at about 5:30. The witness was certain of the time as she declares that she heard the clock at the Black Eagle Brewery on Brick Lane strike the half hour just before she entered the street in front of 29 Hanbury Street. She saw a man and a woman talking. It should be noted that the witness identified the body of Annie Chapman at the morgue as being the aforementioned woman. This identification was solicited by her services. The man seen with the victim is described by the witness as follows: at least 40, a little taller than the woman with whom he was discussing, approximately 5 feet 3 inches. Clothing: brown deer stalker hat. What is a brown deer stalker hat? Dark coat, a doubt on this point. General appearance of the working class. Particular markings: dark hair and mustache, dark face, looks like a foreigner. The witnesses only saw the man from behind and wouldn't be able to recognize or identify him. The term foreigner is often associated with a person of... That seems to be an opinion by the officer. It has nothing to do with the case. Where's my other testimony? Where's my other testimony? I pulled out 2 testimonies. There it is. Deerstalker hats have those flaps down the side worn by dudes. Oh, like the little lumberjacky flaps. Like they make you think of syrup. Lumberjacks, like the nice ones, instead they're like... Alright, Alright, cool. The witness resides at 27 Hanbury, the building adjoining number 29 of the same street, and the two respective backyards are separated by a wooden fence, tall and thin. On the morning of the murder, the witness got up at 5:15 and went into the yard where the latrine was. It was then about 5:20 a.m. On going back into the house, the witness heard voices from behind the fence coming from number 29. The only word that he understood was no. He went into the building again, but returned to the yard approximately 4 minutes later, whereupon he heard a noise as if something fell against the fence. He then departed for work. When he passed in front of Spatial Fields Church, it was approximately 5:32 a.m. Odd.
Excuse me, Doctor, but I must take Mr. Richardson's statement.
May I introduce myself? I'm Dr. Watson. I am...
You wouldn't be the chap what writes the detective stories in that there paper?
Well, yes, indeed, my stories have been published in the Strand.
Go, blimey, wanna tell me old mum?
It would seem your testimony is the subject of some debate. Could you tell me what it was about?
They'll be telling I'm a bit befuddled about the times that I told them. But it can't be so. I knows what I sees and what I don't sees that morning.
What did you see, or what didn't you see? And at what time, would you say?
I'll tell you this for nothing. It's me old mum who lives at the house where the body was found out back in the garden. She has her shop at the bottom to the right of the stairs. Her door was broken down not too far back because it's a real zoo it is. Right, the morning it happened, I head that way to see if me old mum has finally had the place broken into. It was 4:45 when I got there. That I'll swear on me dear old mum's life. I had a look round to see if the cellar had been taken. No. I had a little sit down on the stairs by the courtyard because me shoes were causing me no end of pain and I had a cut and all. I didn't seize a single thing below the steps, Doctor, not one single thing. If there was some bird all covered in blood, tain't no how I could have missed that, even if it were night time. Right, 5 minutes after getting to number 29, I had to clip off. And now they tells me that either I can't tell time no more, or I was fixing me loafer next to a stiff that was still steaming. All right then, evening gents.
That must have been like the fastest testimony you've ever heard.
Yes, Doctor?
So, how far along are the investigations into these two recent murders?
Everyone around here believes both crimes were committed by the same man. But as for the Hanbury Street and Bucks Row crimes, nobody has heard or seen a thing.
Oh, wait! It's not these flappies. It's this flappy. It's the Sherlock hat. The Sherlock hat is a deerstalker hat. I mean, technically, yeah, if you undo the strap, it does come down. But I was thinking, for some reason, my brain was thinking, like, that hat. I was thinking, that hat. No, 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 no. It's these hats. It's the Sherlocky hat. Now I know what they're officially called. I was just like, deerstalker? Also, what a name for a hat. Deerstalker. Dun, dun, dun.
By the way, have you heard of a Dr. Tumblety?
No. Is it important?
Yes. Well, no, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I have heard about this man, his frequent nocturnal outings and bizarre behaviour.
What does this chap look like, Doctor? And where can we find him?
The last I heard was that he was staying at Finley's place, the man who was looking for me a few days ago.
It would greatly assist us if you could ask Finley what your strange associate looks like. We could then see if the description matches any witness accounts.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Cool. All right. I think that is a good stopping point as any, because I have to edit these videos, and rendering takes a hot minute. But that's okay, because we're doing great. We made it to the next Sherlock game. We're on track. And we weren't as spicy this time. I mean, we did get a little spicy. But, you know, that's just the Sherlock vibes, I guess. So thank you everyone for stopping by. And I'll see you tomorrow for more Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Zeus Marcy. Bye-bye.